Dear students, today we are going to deal three minor topics in the paper Consumer Awareness. These minor topics are namely adulteration, information and labeling, and duplication. Though I call these as minor topics, as the scope of this study is very limited, it is very important for business people to follow because more it deals with business ethics. As usual, this particular topic has been divided into 5 parts, starting with an introductory. So, following that, we have adulteration, and I have placed duplication next to adulteration because adulteration and duplication are more pertaining to ethics, and finally it is information and labeling, which is about informing the consumers about the products. In the introductory part, you should first of all understand that business is done chiefly to make profit and amass wealth, but at the same time money should be made on the grounds of certain ethics. So violating this ethics is something very serious issue and it should be avoided, and therefore every business has to follow some ethics, particularly when Western countries they speak about business. They always place much importance to business ethics, and they cite developing countries as not following such ethics. So ethics has to be followed, but this stand of the Western countries may be also a dubious stand, and there are certain issues which I will try to focus in the course of the lecture. When we speak about adulteration, we should be first of all introduced to the term adulterant. So the term adulterant stands for identifying a substance found within other substances such as food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, fuels, or other chemicals that compromises the safety or effectiveness of the said substance. So you should understand that it is an uninvited particle that spoils the entire texture of the particular product. So it should not be there actually, but it has somehow found its way into that product and has put into question the safety and effectiveness of the particular substance. So this is what mainly adulterant means to. There are a lot of issues coming up pertaining to this adulteration. So some of the physicians or doctors who are into sensitizing people on diabetes, they are saying that with wheat, cheap rated maida has been mixed, and this will in the long term develop diabetes in the consumers. So this maida is not expected to be part of the wheat, but without saying that maida of this content or proportion is added with the wheat, the particular company issuing wheat is selling its product. So in the state of Kerala, maida or parotas made of maida has been partially banned. So if you are going to sell this maida again, then it is a violation of law also. So adulteration and adulterant for becoming part of a product is often a violation of law also. So in such case, why should adulterants be part of a particular product? That is the main question that you have to understand here. So a product that has to include certain components may cost higher, and this particular adulterant may give the same kind of texture, quality, or taste, and these are found to be cheaper and added to the particular product. But this product is not declared by the manufacturer as being part of that particular product. So in order to make more money, they are trying to include this adulterant into the product, and they are cheating the consumers and making money. So for instance, if a product is sold for rupees 80 and many people may not like to buy that product at that price, so to reduce the price to 70, an adulterant of cheap rate can be included, and the production cost will be only 40, and 30 per rupees margin of profit can be maintained, and in such a way they make business, and they try to uh, deceive the people, and this is the major problem as far as adulteration is concerned. Herein you have to distinguish between contamination and adulteration. So contamination is something which happens in an accidental manner or negligence rather than intent. So the particular seller is not intentful of causing a damage to the consumers or customers. For instance, fish sold these days are having lot of pollutant within them, but the fish vendor does not know that this contains this kind of fish. Similarly, in chickens, we have been consuming it with a lot of antibiotics. Antibiotics are being administered into these chickens, and in such a way they are processed in the poultry, and therefore such chicken we are consuming, and it is going to affect our health. But the person who is selling that does not know about all this, but in the poultry, maybe they know this, or they may be of the impression that everybody is following similar ethic, and there is no harm in following such an ethic for themselves. So some kind of unintentional motive is being found in contamination, whereas adulteration is an intentional behavior of the producer. So you might be coming across coffee with added chicory for attaining desired flavor, but the company should inform that this much of chicory has been included in the product, and accordingly they should fix the price and sell the product also, because chicory is available for cheaper cost, whereas coffee is of higher cost. So the proportion has to be rightly maintained if at all an ethic is to be followed. So we have adulteration problem coming up in a huge way with companies such as Pepsi and Coca-Cola, which are said to be including insecticide with a set intent or a matter of deliberate intention. In media, at one point of time, they sensitized about silver foil found in the sweets containing the fat of mutton and beef. But those who do not want to consume that, particularly vegetarians, they are avoiding that, but others they are still consuming. But this issue pertaining to Pepsi and Coca-Cola that came up in the Supreme Court has definitely caused certain setbacks to the said companies, and they are not doing business in same fashion as before. Next, let us move to duplication. Duplication is producing again without the permission of the original producer a well-known brand and marketed in the same name. Earlier there was a company called Micromax which exactly copied the products of Apple iPhones, and they sold it for a cheaper rate. But they did not acknowledge that they have copied things from Apple company. So similarly, in the local level, you have several companies saying that they are selling Tirunelveli Iruttukarai Alva, but there is only one shop which is selling Tirunelveli Iruttukarai Alva, and they are showing other people who are using that geographical indication, which is a reservation for themselves. Video copying of movies is another type of duplication. So Hollywood movies, if you are trying to see that in our YouTube, immediately it offers you a price to be paid, and without a payment of money you cannot see a Hollywood movie in YouTube, whereas Indian movies can be easily seen. Somebody is uploading in YouTube and we are able to get that, and that is somehow an unethical practice which a lot of people are involved, both the viewers and those people who are uploading that. Photocopying of books, so books that are pricing hugely are photocopied by many of us and are used. So in England they discourage this, and photocopying is made costlier, and therefore they check this kind of mechanism. Similarly, automobile components are often being duplicated. In one particular slum of Calcutta, even the Rolls-Royce spare parts are being made, it is said. So it is very difficult for the Rolls-Royce company owners themselves to identify the duplicate products and distinguish it from the original. So in such a fashion, people of duplication, they are experts in making such products, it seems that. So avoiding of duplication can be made only by customer education, strong relationship with the distribution network and inventory built up, building brand loyalty, lobbying with government, and activities as such. But there are a lot of practical problems in following these steps. Yet companies are trying to include components as such to avoid duplication. So from here let us move to information and labeling. So the labeling should include the ingredients present in the product. Informing of ingredients is very important because some of the consumers may be allergic to some kind of products. So many people, without knowing that a particular product is made of sugar, they might be consuming it. That particular consumer might be a diabetic and his health would be affected by that. So if the company is not allowing the consumer to know the information, he can go and sue that particular company in consumer court. So it is essential to inform the ingredients in the label. Health risks of certain products has to be informed. So cigarette products and other tobacco products, alcoholic beverages, they are being often said as risky to our health, and therefore that has been propagated through the label itself. And some of the products are not for sales for children, and that also should be included in the label. Instruction pertaining to how to use that particular product should also be included. So how to clean that particular product if you are buying a car, so how much air you have to fill in the tires, in how many days you have to check your battery water level, etc., has to be informed in a particular handbook. And without that you may not be able to know the nuances of that particular product that you have bought, and therefore you will be in trouble. So to avoid that, instruction has to be effectively given through pamphlets and moreover companies can also promote their product and effectively market their product through labeling, some colorful labeling and attractive type of font usage may make the product more attractive and induce the customers to buy that product. So therefore labeling is also very important for a product. So in conclusion, you should understand that we have in market lot of products with adulterants which may affect our health. and you should be also careful with the contaminated foods to have a good health. And similarly, you should also try to avoid duplication, because duplication can be avoided only by a consciousness that evolves from among the public. So video copying, photocopying of books, and buying products other than particularly automobile products other than that issued by the company, or something not good for the business or the government which is taxing that particular company, because duplicate products do not sell their or give their taxes to the government. And also, you should, as a customer or consumer, look into the information and labeling before buying a product. And with these observations of mine, I conclude my lecture on this particular topic. Thank you very much.